Ladies and gentlemen, good day. I welcome you all to THMI TV. On the program today, we'll be having as our guest here a Southern Cameroonian, a dynamic Southern Cameroonian, Ambazonia, as they call it. I think they will prefer to call it Ambazonia. We will be having a debate, and he will be substantiating on the worries of some Southern Cameroonians and the international community as to what will be the aftermath of the Southern Cameroonian independence or a free Southern Cameroon. Didas, good day. I welcome you to the THMI TV.
Thank you, Mark Forty. It's my pleasure.
It's a pleasure to have you here, sir.
It's my pleasure too.
Thank you. Welcome for that. Thank you for coming. Sir, can you give us a brief history of Ambazonia compared to the Southern Sudan?
Mark Forty, like I said, thank you once more for giving me this opportunity to talk to our people, talk to the international community, and I hope they are following us up, they are listening to THMI TV. To answer your question, I will start with a brief history of Southern Cameroon like you requested. Then I will start with some little expressions or idioms, which I would say it's almost easy to link people to bad situations. The fact that one driver has an accident with a car does not stop another driver from buying a car and driving a car. Or the fact that a lazy cocoa farmer didn't take care of the cocoa pot and ended up having a bad harvest doesn't stop other cocoa farmers from doing cocoa farming. Why not compare Southern Cameroon Ambazonia with a good case like Namibia? Namibia is a good case of successful revolution. She's a modern state in Africa. However, the world should give us our chance. We need our freedom, our independence. Whatever we do with that independence is a discussion for another day. Okay, like you asked about the brief history of Southern Cameroon Ambazonia compared to Southern Sudan. Southern Cameroon Ambazonia was an autonomous territory from 1954 to October 1961, called it the UN Trust Territory. It transformed to a semi-autonomous territory from October 1961 to 1972, a federated state. Therefore, from 1954 to 1972, this territory had enjoyed self-governance, had economic, political, and cultural structures. Despite the unfortunate accident that happened with Southern Cameroon joining La République, or Republic of Cameroon, where she spent 58 years as wasted years, I call them wasted years, the territory got dismembered and distorted. Here we are saying that the territory was transformed from Southern Cameroon to Northwest Province and Southwest Province. Despite that, the skeletal structures are still standing there. For example, you have the Prime Minister Lodge in Boya, you have the Yoke Hydro Dam in Moyoka, you have the Marketing Board head office in Victoria, which they now call Limbe. These and many others can be a template for a fresh start by renovating them. Southern Sudan had never, I repeat, never enjoyed any form of autonomy prior to the revolution, talk less of structures they could fall back to. By default, Southern Cameroon Ambazonia has something to copy from or lean on for a worst case scenario.
Sir, what about the people that occupy the territory of Ambazonia compared to the people that occupy the territory of Southern Sudan?
Oh, Mark Forty, that's a very pertinent question. Pertinent in the sense that sometimes having the territory is one thing, having the people that live or occupy that territory is another thing. So I would like I would like us to see what makes the difference between the Amazonian people and the Southern Cameroonian people. Southern Cameroon, as they call it in international law, is a people. A people means they have a culture, they have an identity. But that's far from what I want to present here. Southern Cameroonians as a people are well educated, well exposed. They are professionals. In fact, Southern Cameroon has some of the best brains in various fields, be it engineering, medicine, technology, lawyers, you name the rest. As we speak right now, I will assure you, without any shadow of doubt, that about 4 million Southern Cameroonians are in the diaspora. They are all loaded with various skills. This is human wealth, or call it human resource, which is the backbone for any development. Southern Cameroon reached and empowered diaspora would transport ideas, skills, technology to ground zero and help empower the ground zero citizens. Innovative job creation from the diaspora and their influence on foreign investors will choke the citizens of Southern Cameroon with job opportunities, which is a good stabilizing factor. If you want a person to smile, give that person a good economy. That's exactly what diaspora will give to ground zero in the new nation. Unfortunately, Southern Sudan did not have this kind of educated and professional, well-exposed people.
Can you tell me this issue of the territory of Ambazonia? How is Ambazonia, the Ambazonian territory, different or compared to the territory of Southern Sudan?
Mark 40, that's another pertinent question you are asking. I really like the kind of the choice of question you are asking. Yeah, I would want to say they are selected questions because if I can attempt answers to this question, it will actually answer the worries of many people. In terms of territory, I would want to tell you that Southern Cameroon or Ambazonian territory is blessed. Blessed in the sense that this is a territory with a coastline borders, or has coastline borders. It has a long and strategic coastline at the Gulf of Guinea. I'll call it the west part of Ambazonia. And in the eastern part of Ambazonia, you have the Victoria Deep Seaport, the Tico Wharf, the Mongol River. This will lead to creation of seaports and river ports. Such ports will enable flow of human and material resources, exchange of services with other countries, export and import flow easily, a big boost to development. Now, you look at the northern zone with land border to Nigeria from Nwa and probably Camden, which is a huge economy in Africa. Unfortunately, very unfortunate that Southern Sudan is landlocked. And the fact that Southern Sudan is landlocked, she deprives herself from such flow, translating to economic hardship. Now you now look at the surface area, the compactness of the surface area of Southern Cameroon Ambazonia. That makes development reachable and easily transformation, which will allow rural areas to be accessible as part of the country. That mitigates or reduces rural exodus. And when you reduce rural exodus, it means that you reduce urban congestion. And when you reduce urban congestion, we are saying that you are indirectly reducing crimes and pressure groups. Now look at nature. Naturally, Southern Cameroon is a very diversified country. They call Cameroon today African in miniature. It is because of Southern Cameroon. It's because of Amazonia that Cameroon has the title of African in miniature. Southern Cameroon, as we understand, has a deep equatorial forest in the southern zone and the savanna grass fields in the northern zone. You have a mixture of the temperate and the tropical climates, a fertile soil for food and cash crops cultivation, which even the poorest family will be food sufficient. When people can eat, that reduces tension and mitigates crimes and wars. Unfortunately, Southern Sudan does not have this diversification. Of course, petroleum and mineral resources, which will be harnessed, optimized, and that will be added advantage. And I would like to tell you here that apart from the petroleum products, Southern Cameroon Ambazonia has a lot of untapped mineral resources, which that makes a difference, because I think Southern Sudan is more of petroleum only.
Yes, this is very interesting.
So,
but I have to ask you another question. What is the style applied or used by the Ambazonians in pursuing this revolution as compared to that of other revolutions in the African continent?
Mark Forte, I think you seem to be punching the back in the right spot, or on the right spot. You see, when you talk about the style of pursuing the revolution, I think this is something people have not actually had the time to look into. But I want to tell you, it matters a lot. The way you pursue a revolution also gives you the way you're going to end the revolution. Well, in terms of the way the Ambazonians are pursuing their revolution, I might not be exact, but I think they are pursuing a modern revolution. If you look at the style, you have, in the Ambazonian revolution, you have the military wing on the ground zero, which they call ground zero. You have a diplomatic wing in the diaspora, and of course you have the interim government in exile, which they call it the IG. The IG has laid down an administrative foundation by organizing the revolution into county by county, LGA by LGA, or called small unit, micro unit, and created various arms of the federal government. They have the Ambazonian people already have a national flag, an anthem, a TV station. Very marvelous. The IG structures will be used upon independence as follows: ensure immediate stability by having command over the defense groups. That will also help to rehabilitate the defense groups and empower them economically and politically. Empower the citizens through the transfer of wealth through their diasporas, be it human wealth like skills. Imagine a federal government with 50% diasporas and 50% ground zero. The mindset will change very easily, and which is what most countries in Africa or most countries in the world suffer with. IG has drawn a school program starting from nursery to higher education that will be more application based as compared to the theoretical education that people have in Africa. In addition, the IG is working on a superior federal force which will be well equipped to cover the entire territory and check for any uprising. These are aspects that Southern Sudan never put in place while pursuing their revolution. Eritrea never put in place while pursuing their revolution. Mozambique never put in place while pursuing their revolution. Angola and many more. The list is just so long. So they were only fighting and fighting and fighting without administrative structures. So what happened? When the independence was achieved, they had no central command system to control, disarm, and rehabilitate the fighters. The same fighters left the bushes, came and took power and started fighting among themselves.
Now, leaders, this is a bone of contention, and this is the worries of many people. What measures are put in place in ensuring a peaceful, stable nation of Ambazonia? And another question, what is the way forward, sir?
Mark Forte, again, thank you very much for your very thrilling, intriguing, and mind-boggling questions. Yeah, when you talk about measures put in place, we are not talking about proactiveness. And of course, you talk about the way forward. Let's look at proactiveness first. For me to answer that question, I would like to take you a little bit memory lane. Memory lane in the sense that who were we before this revolution politically? Politically, you must have read or you must have been told that during the plebiscite or before the plebiscite, Indeli was the prime minister, incumbent prime minister, who lost the plebiscite vote to John Gufoncha, who lost the plebiscite vote to John Gufoncha. despite the fact that he lost and wanted to assure you, when Nyerere was incumbent,